What celebration?
Wasn't it? Was your birthday in February?
Oh, yes, yes.
Can we say which one it was?
Well, I became 80 and I'm very...
She didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles?
At 91, Yoko Ono's long-lost daughter, Kyoko Chan Cox, finally breaks her silence. The shocking truth behind their separation is more dramatic than you could imagine. For decades, Kyoko lived in the shadows, away from her famous mother, shrouded in secrecy and emotional battles. The hidden stories and intense struggles that kept them apart for over 50 years are now coming to light. How did they finally reunite after such a long time? What were the incredible challenges they faced? We're going to discuss their dramatic journey and the heartwarming reunion that took half a century to happen. Let's get into it. Yoko Ono was born on February 18, 1933 in Tokyo, Japan, into a wealthy and cultured family. Her father, Isuke Ono, was a successful banker, and her mother, Isoko Yasuda Ono, came from a line of wealthy industrialists. Yoko's early years were marked by privilege, but also frequent moves due to her father's work. These relocations took the family across Japan and the United States, exposing Yoko to diverse cultures from a young age. Yoko's parents encouraged her interest in the arts. She attended Gakushuin, one of Japan's most prestigious schools, before moving to the US in the early 1950s. There, she continued her education at Sarah Lawrence College, where she immersed herself in the burgeoning avant-garde art scene of New York City. This environment shaped her unique artistic vision, blending traditional Japanese influences with contemporary Western styles. In 1956, Yoko married Toshi Ichiyanagi, a renowned composer and musician known for his work in avant-garde music. Their marriage was a union of two creative minds, both eager to push the boundaries of their respective fields. Together, they were part of a vibrant community of artists in New York, collaborating with figures like John Cage and Lamont Young. During this period, Yoko began to stage her own performances and art installations, gaining recognition for her innovative approach. Despite their shared passions, Yoko and Toshi's marriage faced significant challenges. Their intense focus on their careers often left little time for each other, leading to growing tension. The pressures of their individual ambitions and the demands of the avant-garde scene strained their relationship. By 1962, they decided to divorce, citing irreconcilable differences and the impact of their busy lives on their marriage. The divorce deeply affected Yoko. It was a turning point that propelled her further into her art as a means of expression and coping. During this time, she created some of her most iconic and provocative works, setting the stage for her future collaborations and relationships, most notably with John Lennon. Next, we'll see how Yoko's meeting with Tony Cox changed her life. After her divorce from Toshi Ichiyanagi, Yoko Ono immersed herself in the avant-garde art scene of New York City. During this time, she met Tony Cox, an American film producer and artist. They quickly bonded over their shared passion for art and their desire to challenge conventional norms. Yoko and Tony's relationship blossomed amidst the vibrant art community. They collaborated on various multimedia projects, blending their talents in music, film, and visual art. Their partnership was not only creative, but also deeply personal. Tony admired Yoko's bold artistic vision and supported her experimental endeavors. In 1962, Yoko and Tony decided to get married. Their union was unconventional, reflecting their artistic lives. They continued to work together, creating thought-provoking pieces that often stirred controversy. Despite their busy schedules and artistic commitments, their relationship seemed solid and they were hopeful about their future together. In 1963, Yoko gave birth to their daughter, Kyoko Chan Cox. The arrival of Kyoko marked a significant moment in Yoko's life. She was now a mother, balancing her demanding artistic career with the responsibilities of parenthood. Yoko and Tony tried to create a nurturing environment for their daughter, though their unconventional lifestyle posed challenges. The early years of Kyoko's life were filled with art, music, and the presence of influential figures from the avant-garde scene. Yoko and Tony's home was a hub of creativity, with frequent visits from artists, musicians, and other cultural icons. As time went on, the strains of their artistic ambitions and personal differences began to take a toll on their relationship. Their marriage, once filled with collaborative creativity, started to show signs of strain. The challenges of balancing their careers with family life became more apparent, leading to frequent disagreements. Ultimately, the pressures proved too much for Yoko and Tony's relationship. They separated in 1969, marking the end of their tumultuous yet creatively rich partnership. Even after their separation, the bond they shared through Kyoko remained a significant part of Yoko's life, influencing her future decisions and artistic journey. Stay with us to learn about the struggles that led to Yoko and Tony's final separation. Yoko and Tony's marriage was intense and passionate, but filled with challenges. Both were deeply committed to their artistic careers, often prioritizing them over their personal lives. This caused friction as they struggled to balance their creative ambitions with family demands. Their first major issue arose from differing views on family and career. Yoko's intense focus on her art left little time for Tony or their daughter Kyoko. Tony, although supportive, felt neglected. This led to frequent arguments and growing resentment between them. In 1964, they decided to divorce, hoping separation would bring peace. However, their love and shared artistic goals brought them back together shortly after. They remarried, attempting to reconcile and start anew. For a brief period, it seemed they might succeed. Yoko's increasing involvement in the avant-garde scene and her controversial projects put additional strain on their relationship. Tony felt isolated and struggled with Yoko's growing fame and public scrutiny. The couple's arguments became more frequent and intense, often centering around their differing priorities. The final straw came in 1969 when Yoko's relationship with John Lennon became public. Tony felt betrayed and humiliated, leading to their final separation. This split was definitive, marking not just a personal tragedy, but also a public spectacle, given Yoko's rising prominence in the art world and her connection with Lennon. Following their separation, a bitter custody battle over Kyoko ensued. Tony, fearing Yoko's new lifestyle and relationship with Lennon, decided to take Kyoko and disappear. This led to a prolonged and heartbreaking search by Yoko to find her daughter, adding another layer of tragedy to an already tumultuous period. The custody battle was fierce and emotional, with both parents fighting hard for Kyoko. Despite Yoko's efforts, Tony managed to keep Kyoko hidden for many years. This separation deeply affected Yoko, fueling her art and personal drive but leaving a lasting scar on her heart. Next, we'll explore Yoko's new relationship with John Lennon and the ensuing conflicts. Yoko Ono's life took a dramatic turn when she met John Lennon in 1966. Their connection was immediate and deep, both personally and artistically. They quickly became inseparable, collaborating on various projects and making headlines worldwide. Their relationship brought Yoko unprecedented attention, transforming her from an avant-garde artist into a global figure. Tony Cox reacted strongly to Yoko's new romance. He felt threatened and betrayed, believing John had stolen his family. This feeling of betrayal led Tony to drastic actions. He decided to take Kyoko and disappear, determined to keep her away from Yoko and John. This decision set the stage for a long and painful separation. The disappearance of Kyoko marked the beginning of a series of legal battles. Yoko and John were desperate to find her and launch an extensive search. They hired private investigators and used their resources to locate Tony and Kyoko, but their efforts were often thwarted. Tony was very careful, moving frequently to avoid detection. The legal battles over Kyoko were intense. Yoko and John fought hard to regain custody, but the legal system was slow and complicated. Tony, meanwhile, argued that Yoko's new lifestyle with John was not suitable for raising a child. He presented himself as a more stable parent, despite the fact that he was on the run. The conflict escalated as both sides refused to back down. Court hearings became a regular part of their lives, draining emotionally and financially. The media covered this story extensively, adding pressure to an already stressful situation. Yoko and John's public image was affected, and they faced scrutiny from fans and critics alike. Throughout this period, Yoko remained determined to find her daughter. She balanced her artistic career with her ongoing search, often using her art to express her pain and longing. John's support was unwavering, but the stress of the situation took a toll on their relationship as well. The early legal battles laid the groundwork for a long and challenging journey. Yoko and John faced numerous obstacles, but their resolve never wavered. The fight for Kyoko's custody was not just a legal battle, but a deeply personal one, filled with the emotional highs and lows. This struggle would continue to shape Yoko's life and her relationship with John in the years to come. Keep watching to understand Tony's life in hiding with Kyoko. Tony Cox made a bold decision to go into hiding with Kyoko. He was determined to keep her away from Yoko and John, believing it was the best way to protect his daughter. This choice led them on a journey that would define Kyoko's childhood. Growing up in hiding was not easy for Kyoko. She lived a life of constant movement, switching locations frequently to avoid being found. This nomadic lifestyle meant she never stayed in one place long enough to make lasting friends. Her schooling was inconsistent and her social life was limited. Tony did his best to explain the situation to Kyoko, but as a child, she struggled to fully understand why they had to live this way. Tony worked hard to provide a stable environment for Kyoko despite their circumstances. He took on various jobs to support them, often in remote or rural areas where they were less likely to be noticed. Tony's priority was always Kyoko's safety, and he went to great lengths to ensure they remained hidden. He avoided using his real name and taught Kyoko to do the same. Kyoko's daily life was filled with routines designed to keep them under the radar. Tony homeschooled her, teaching her both academic subjects and practical skills. He wanted her to be well-rounded and capable of taking care of herself. As Kyoko grew older, she began to understand more about their situation. She realized that her mother was searching for her and that the life they led was not typical. This realization brought mixed feelings. On one hand, she missed having a stable and normal life. On the other, she understood Tony's actions were out of love and protection. Tony's efforts to keep them hidden were successful for many years. He managed to evade Yoko and John's extensive search efforts, keeping Kyoko away from the spotlight. However, this life of hiding took its tolls. Both Tony and Kyoko lived with the constant fear of being found, which affected their mental and emotional well-being. Tony's dedication to Kyoko never wavered. He remained focused on giving her the best life possible under the circumstances, providing love and support in their secluded world. This period of hiding shaped Kyoko's early years, influencing her views on family, trust, and security. Stay with us to learn about Yoko and John's relentless search for Kyoko. Yoko and John were relentless in their efforts to find Kyoko. They launched a massive search using every resource at their disposal. Private investigators, public appeals, and even their own fame were all employed in the manhunt. The search spanned years and crossed continents, but Tony remained elusive. Rumors and tips poured in from all over the world. Each new lead brought a flicker of hope. Sightings of Kyoko were reported in various countries, but each one ended in disappointment. Tony's skill at staying hidden made the search incredibly difficult. The constant cycle of hope and heartbreak took a heavy toll on both Yoko and John. The emotional strain was immense. Yoko felt a deep, aching loss. She poured her feelings into her art, but the pain never truly went away. John, always supportive, shared in her sorrow. Their shared grief brought them closer, but it also added stress to their relationship. The search for Kyoko became a central focus of their lives, overshadowing other aspects. False leads were a constant frustration. Many times, they thought they were close to finding Kyoko, only to be met with disappointment. Each failed attempt was a blow, sapping their energy and hope. Some tips seemed promising, while others were clearly attempts to exploit their desperation. Sorting through these leads was grueling. The challenges were not just emotional, but also logistical. Tracking someone who did not want to be found required immense effort. Tony was always one step ahead, changing locations and identities frequently. His determination to keep Kyoko away from Yoko and John was unwavering. This cat-and-mouse game added to the psychological burden on Yoko and John. Throughout these years, Yoko and John never gave up. Their love for Kyoko and their desire to reunite with her kept them going. Though they faced many setbacks and heartaches, they continued to search. Their persistence was a testament to their dedication as parents. The ongoing manhunt was a difficult and painful journey. It tested Yoko and John's resolve and brought them face to face with harsh realities. Yet, their unwavering commitment to finding Kyoko remained a central part of their story. Keep watching to discover the change after Kyoko's decision. The assassination of John Lennon in 1980 was a devastating blow to Yoko. John was not only her partner in life and art, but also a steadfast supporter in her search for Kyoko. His death left a void in Yoko's life, deepening her grief and sense of loss. Yet, despite this tragedy, Yoko remained determined to find her daughter. Kyoko grew up under Tony's protection, leading a secluded life. As she reached adulthood, she began to question her past and the reasons behind her upbringing. The stories she heard from Tony and the fragmented information about her mother stirred a curiosity within her. She wanted to know more about Yoko and the life she had been separated from. In her early 30s, Kyoko made the brave decision to reach out to her mother. This was not an easy step. It required courage to confront a past shrouded in secrecy and pain. Kyoko knew that reconnecting with Yoko could open old wounds, but she felt it was a necessary part of understanding her identity. The first successful contact between Kyoko and Yoko was filled with intense emotions. Yoko, who had never given up hope, was overwhelmed with relief and joy. The moment was bittersweet, filled with tears and the tentative beginnings of healing. For Kyoko, it was a mixture of anxiety and anticipation, meeting a mother she barely knew but always felt connected to. This initial contact was just the start of a long process of reconciliation. Both Yoko and Kyoko had years of separation to bridge, and many questions needed answers. They had to navigate feelings of abandonment, guilt, and the impact of their long separation. The turning point marked a new chapter in both of their lives. Kyoko's decision to reconnect brought a sense of closure to Yoko's long search. It also opened up the possibility of building a relationship that had been denied to them for so many years. The path to healing was complex, but the first step had been taken, bringing hope to both mother and daughter. Next, we'll see how Yoko and Kyoko rebuilt their bond. The first meeting between Yoko and Kyoko after decades apart was an emotional event. They met in a private setting, away from the prying eyes of the media. The initial moments were filled with tears and embraces, as both tried to process the reality of being together again. It was a moment of overwhelming emotions, mixed with joy, relief, and the pain of lost years. News of their reunion quickly spread, capturing the attention of the public and media. People were fascinated by the story of a mother and daughter reuniting after so long. The media coverage was extensive, with many outlets sharing the heartwarming details of their first meeting. Public reaction was overwhelmingly positive, with many expressing admiration for their perseverance and hope for their future relationship. Rebuilding their bond was a gradual process. Yoko and Kyoko had to navigate years of separation and the emotional scars left by their time apart. They spent time getting to know each other, sharing stories, and filling in the gaps in their shared history. This process was not without its challenges, as both had to confront and heal from the traumas of the past. They found solace in their shared love for art and music. Yoko introduced Kyoko to her world, and Kyoko in turn shared her own experiences and interests. This mutual exchange helped strengthen their connection. They attended events together, collaborated on projects, and slowly built a foundation of trust and understanding. Therapy and open communication played a crucial role in their reconciliation. Both sought professional help to work through their feelings and to learn how to support each other. They had honest conversations about their past, their feelings of abandonment, and their hopes for the future. This transparency was key to overcoming the emotional barriers that had built up over the year. Rebuilding their relationship required patience and dedication. There were setbacks and difficult moments, but they remained committed to each other. Over time, they forged a strong, resilient bond that transcended the years of separation. But how did their reunion impact Yoko's family? Since their reunion, both Kyoko's and Yoko's lives have undergone significant changes. Their relationship has brought a sense of peace and fulfillment that was missing for so many years. Kyoko has integrated more into Yoko's world, participating in her artistic endeavors and public events. Yoko, now in her 90s, finds joy in having Kyoko by her side, filling a void that had long haunted her. The reunion has also impacted Yoko's family dynamics, especially her relationship with Sean Lennon, her son with John. Sean welcomed Kyoko with open arms, embracing her as part of the family. This new bond has strengthened the family unit, bringing them closer together. Looking forward, Yoko and Kyoko are focused on continuing to build their relationship. They plan to spend more time together, creating new memories and deepening their bond. Yoko's advancing age has made every moment precious, and both are committed to making the most of their time. They engage in regular visits, joint projects, and family gatherings, cherishing the opportunities to be together. Yoko and Kyoko also aim to use their story to inspire others. They have started participating in public talks and interviews, sharing their journey of separation and reunion. Their message is one of hope and resilience, encouraging others who may be facing similar challenges to never give up on love and connection. The future looks promising for Yoko and Kyoko. They have overcome significant hurdles to be where they are today, and their dedication to each other continues to drive their relationship forward. The lessons they have learned from their past have made them stronger and more appreciative of the present. Their ongoing journey is a testament to the enduring power of family and the possibility of healing even the deepest wounds. As they look ahead, Yoko and Kyoko remain committed to supporting each other, building on their shared history and creating a future filled with love, understanding, and mutual respect. Yoko Ono and Kyoko Chan Cox's story is a profound lesson in the power of persistence, love, and forgiveness. Their journey teaches us that no matter how long or difficult the road, the bonds of family and the possibility of reunion are always within reach. If you found this story inspiring, please like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of resilience and hope.